name's Nicola Bowers, and I work at a dental practice called Enhanced Dental Centre. We've just moved to a new practice in Witchford, and it's lovely.
Amazing, thank you. So you are one of our students, Nicola, on the TCO Blueprint Programme. And I really just want to get a feel of what you feel about the programme, how it was introduced to you and your initial feelings, really. Do you want to start with that?
Okay, so Esther come across this programme. I think she's done a couple of Andy Toy's programmes herself. And so she recommended this one to me because it's mainly based for Invisalign. And when she said about it, it was really exciting. It was exciting to feel that I was going to start developing a little bit more with my career and moving forwards. And so, yeah, it was really exciting, actually.
That's good. And what is your current position then in practice, Nicola? I hear you do a lot.
Yeah, so I'm a dental nurse and a TCO for Esther. So I do the ortho TCO role. And so I send a lot of consent forms, finance, things like that out. But I also am all health educated and I do radiographs as well.
Amazing, thank you. So I think at the moment you're on the unit where you're doing lots of research. So looking into the role of TCO, looking into personality types. How have you found that so far?
I found it really interesting. The disc analysis is really, really interesting. Learning how patients come into the practice, the reasons why they ask the questions they ask, how they deal with the answers given and how they put it all together. It's really interesting to learn the different reasons to why they come in as they are, essentially.
Okay. And do you think you've been able to implement that into practice already?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You can see from people's body language and the questions they ask how you need to do your questions back to them and how much information they want to be given at the beginning of the appointment. Some patients don't want to have too much information thrown at them. They'd rather see it visually, which is good when you're doing the scans, and you can do the simulation on the scanner as well. Whereas other ones, they just want every question, they want all answers to everything. So you can definitely learn which way you need to go when the patient walks in the door.
Absolutely. And the idea there is that literally you can then adapt your communication style depending on that person's personality type.
Yeah, definitely. It's the way you body mirror them as well, to make them feel at ease, because if they feel at ease, then they're more likely to want to come back and communicate more with you. You've got to build up that repertoire with them, haven't you? So yeah, it's been really, really interesting so far.
Good. That's brilliant. Thank you. How do you think this programme, Nicola, will help you in practice, your patients and your practice generally? What are you hoping to do?
So I think it's obviously going to give me a lot more confidence with doing the role that I'm now doing. I'm going to be starting doing consultations for the patients. So it's going to help me learn how to deliver the consultation process, learning how the disc analysis works. So to know how to deliver my presentation essentially to them. But also it's given me more knowledge on Invisalign itself, as much as listening to it being explained by Esther. Learning about it myself is a different way of learning, so it's much easier in that respect. So yeah, it's definitely going to give me the confidence, and it's going to progress for me. It's going to develop my career a lot with me doing this sort of thing. So yeah, it's really exciting.
Brilliant. Do you think it will help your practice if you kind of follow the program?
Yeah, definitely. I think so, because it's going to give me the benefit to do the consultations and other things, as well as giving Esther the opportunity to go along and carry on doing her consent forms and things, so we can work alongside each other. So it's half and half of how I'm doing stuff, how Esther's doing stuff, and how the practice is working. And it's going to bring in, we're going to be able to bring in more patients essentially, because I can see someone while Esther's seeing somebody. So yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant. And can you see the benefit of having a TCO that's completed the programme and how that would benefit the patients?
Yeah, I think the benefit from having a TCO that's completed the programme is they understand a lot more what the TCO role is. Like I say, they understand how to build up the repertoire and the relationship between that patient as they walk into the building, because the patient and the treatment coordinator, that's where a lot of the process and the information comes from. The dentist sees them to do certain aspects of it, but the questions come to the TCO. So I think if you've got the knowledge from doing the course of how to answer them to the way a patient wants, it's going to be a much easier way around things. So yeah, I think having not done the course already, I think I'm learning as I'm going on what to expect a question to come at and how to respond to it, essentially.
Great stuff. Are you finding the structure of the course so far useful?
Absolutely, yeah. It's nice that I can take it at my own pace. It's the pressure's not on with having the deadlines, essentially. With working full time, having 2 young children at home, I can fit it around my working days and things. So it's much easier. And I find, to start off with, I found it quite difficult to follow, but now I've got used to it. It's much easier to follow and to understand where you can go, and you can pick up where you've left off as well, much easier. So yeah, I think the structure is really, really good.
Brilliant. How do you find having a mentor? Do you think it's useful?
I do. I think it's much more useful because you've got someone you can go and speak to if you're struggling. I've had a few things that I've struggled with the course, more the admin side, the computer side, but we've like talked about it, and that's been rectified. Whereas if I hadn't got a mentor, I'd just be sat there struggling. Computers aren't necessarily a strong point of mine, so I'd have definitely struggled on that part. When I did the very first part of it with writing about the role of a TCO, my mentor helped me to know where to go and get some information from, where to research, whereas I was all at a loss to start with, so I was really struggling. So yeah, definitely.
Amazing.
Definitely good.
Thank you. Would you recommend the programme from what you've seen so far, Nicola, to other people?
Absolutely, yeah. I think it's a very nice program. I think it, like I say, it's a very calm program that you can do it at your own pace. So it works much easier for working people, because a lot of people have to do it in their own time. So I think it's much easier that you can just do a little bit at a time, and you're not set task after task after task. It's definitely workable for you as a person. So yeah, I think it's really good.
Brilliant. Brilliant. That's great. Thank you so much, Nicola.